to roll that forward so that we're not short in this fiscal year. And I can get it back on track to where it's being put into the correct year.
I've got a question though, since we've already sent those out and I've already signed and people have paid a number of business licenses, those will be recorded this year.
So
And
what
then we get in July, we'll get that.
they've been paid in this year, but what it's going to be is I'm going to hopefully work it out. Well, it will be done. I'm going to have that updated, the revenue updated, the GL portion of it into the next fiscal year that we're coming into. The payments, what that does is when we create the billing, it creates the revenue and it creates an accounts receivable. So when you paid your business license, all it did was create a prepaid on the accounts receivable. So we'll be doing some journal entries for year end to correct, to put the,
Understood.
it's just prepaid revenue.
Any other questions for the treasurer on this?
I'd like to expand a little bit on what she said. She's exactly right. When it was back, when she was here 2 times ago, whatever, the intent of this was to bill it out in June for payment. It was July through August. You never got paid. It's so quick to pay it. That was an instant cash flow for the city. And that's how we could get the month going, because you're not going to get your CTX in 2.5 months. So the business license was running $157,000 so a year. We would get that money right up front, and that helped our cash flow. And what I think happened on the last one, we went for the double, we got doubled up. It's a way to show some extra cash. That probably shouldn't be reported that way.
Well, it'll be.
Maybe that's all. That's going to just, I think, a little headache for her doing journal entries. We'll be back on line for getting our business licenses. If you were to look at the financials right now, there's only $2,500 of business licenses in revenue, but it's already been paid last year for this year. So she's correcting that. I think it's the only way to be true accounting.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Do I have a second? Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried and so ordered. We move on to item 9, public comments. Please state your name and you'll have 3 minutes. I think that's you, George.
Mr. Mayor, you need to do something with this microphone so those that are speaking can adjust it. I'm going to keep interrupting you if I can't hear anything. Mr. Mayor, I'm going to request a newspaper's license report. I took my money for ads, never ran them, that's dropped. I'm here to file a complaint. I've waited since April, I'm not going to keep waiting forever. Mr. Mayor, I've been by the charter school and I don't see any construction in regards to the curb and gutter, which is required, the same with the accesses. Mr. Mayor, at previous meetings I reported that numerous RVs, possible squatters, were setting up throughout the city. How many of them did you bill for landfill and or sewer and water? I was billed for water and sewer by former clerk, Councilman Jim Allworth, when a renter had a friend staying with him. I had to pay another connection. I'm not going to be discriminated against. I want to know how much you collected. You haven't collected any. I want to know why. Mr. Mayor, on a number of occasions I've asked, I've presented a request for public information in regards to former Councilwoman Jolene Gardner receiving thousands of dollars from the city. The city having encroached onto her property with some kind of utility and causing her some kind of harm. Councilman Allworth was the city clerk at the time, and Treasurer Trask may have signed the check that was approved by then City Council. How much was she paid? $5,000, $10,000? We need to resolve that, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, the community choir just finished putting up their plastic unapproved roofing on their commercial building. No permit, no contractor, no inspections, no reports. Did your building inspector ever make a vacuum roof with his wife in the city county vehicle that I reported back in September 2019? I want my business, not business license, but that permit. That's right, I'm glad you remembered. It's a test, you passed. Now, give me the amount so I can get started, Mayor. We're burning daylight and I'm not happy. Mr. Mayor, in the past I've asked and I'm asking again for the 490 linear feet of 16-inch steel pipe that was moved from Murray Street project has been returned and taken to the city landfill as required by the contract for public auction or sale. NRS does not allow, 281.481 does not allow public employees or officials from having preference. Mr. Mayor, again, we remind you that the city has yet to reimbursement for the expenditures that are incurred for curing the sewer problem at 681 Parker. You're spending thousands of dollars on certain individuals, depending on who they are, or curb. You're extending their water lines when it's not the city's business. Yet I paid every month for that sewer service. Had it been a break on my side, I was prepared to pay for it. But it was not. It was on your side, meaning the city. I want my money back.
Thank you, George.
$6,628.48.
Thank you, George.
Did you write that down, Counselor?
Any other public comment? Do
Do
anything
you
else?
have any public comment from the Zoom participants?
I have a couple of.
Okay.
First is, in relation to Ely City Ordinance 731, this is from Robert Schumacher, revising in lieu of landfill provision to exempt certain counties only, and the revocation of my previous exemption, which I deem to be unfair and discriminatory. I will list numerically my concerns to keep it short and precise as I can. Location, Elk Springs, no infrastructure or services, pack in, pack out. 2, past practices. Since 2003, my Clark County landfill available or dump receipt was sufficient. 3, last year went to Ely landfill and visited with Ely disposal service. Both options are not feasible in my situation. 4, I also recycle. I pack out on my trailer plastic, paper, glass, and cans. We'll provide some pictures for my first trip this year. Memorial Day weekend. Since 2007 to current, been involved with Elk Springs fuel reduction projects. Have received federal grants with the obligation of a 30% match on the part of the landowner. On my part, I am required to remove dead trees, logs from my property. I'm removed by wood stove, slash, burn pit, and pack out on my trailer firewood for personal use during winter in Las Vegas. So when I come down the mountain with 3 tons of wood, garbage, equipment, etc. on my trailer, it is not practical or sensible to go to the landfill in Ely. As a citizen of the state of Nevada, a taxpayer both in Clark County and White Pine County, I should have an equal opportunity to use and access the landfill of my choice, as do other landowners outside city limits who remove their own garbage. Please forward to the City Council this information and request to reinstate again my privilege to receive a complete credit toward my obligation to pay landfill fees to the City of Ely. As in the past, I will provide proof of payment of the other landfill, Clark County, at a minimum on an annual basis. Any questions or additional documentation, please call me. And a copy of this will be in each of your boxes. Secondly, take a restart. This is from Arlene Terry at 2341 Campton Street. Her concern is deer and skunks in 2 fire traps of buildings, and she requested this be presented to the council. The problem has existed for the past 50 years and still exists. There are neighbors on all sides. This is a neglected property. There are many skunks living next door right out my bedroom window. The property owner never cleans up dry grass and doesn't take out dead trees. Deer seem to live on the property, and between the skunks and the deer, they even pull out my plants. My deceased husband and I have contended with this fire trap of a house and skunks for many, many years, and I continue to deal with this problem. I don't feel that I should have to take on the task or the expense to take care of these 3 problems: deer, skunks, and a fire trap of a house. Maybe I could strike a match and throw it over the fence, but it is too close to my house. Arlene Terry.
Who's the address on that?
2341 Campton.
Any other public comment? Hearing none? What? Hearing none, we'll move on. We're going to take a quick 5-minute recess. We're going to be closing the council meeting for the next item. So 5 minutes, and anyone who is not a member of the fire department or volunteer fire department will please excuse themselves from the building.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chatchis reporting.